Hello, my name is Josh Terefe. This semester I took ethics and morals, and we had the opportunity to do a case study. So for our case study, there were a lot of topics that was thrown out. Specifically, the one that my group did was transgender healthcare. Um, when it came to the topics, transgender healthcare was actually something that I really wanted to mention and bring to light to my class, but felt kind of awkward doing so. And so when I saw another student arise and say that, I knew that the next class that we would pick our topics, I definitely wanted to pick this topic. So a little background on transgender healthcare. Well, personally for myself, I've been making videos for the transgender community for about a year now on YouTube. I personally identify as transgender. So when it came to getting a group of people, one of my main concerns was having people who are open-minded or able to kind of understand about the moral issue that can go on with this country with transgender people in general. So when our group came together, it was me as well as three cisgendered people, which cisgender stands for people who are born and identify with the sex and gender that they were born into. So for my group, I dealt with three other guys who were really open-minded and wanted to actually do this topic. So we picked transgender healthcare. And when it came to picking transgender healthcare, there was like issues because we knew that we could go into many different topics about healthcare. Healthcare can look like a lot of things, whether that be mental health, emotional health, or physical health. So one thing that we were going into that we realized that was really prominent was that transgender people are not covered by healthcare across all states. For us, that was a big moral issue because it seemed that that was more of a choice by bias, outdated, maybe religious standards. So, one case that we specifically wanted to look at were cases in, I believe, Oregon. Yeah, in Oregon. So, we looked at Oregon and saw that just now, transgender health care is actually a possibility for people and that people are out and proud and able to get the health care they receive. We were talking about how in New York, we know that there are 3 locations that people can receive the proper treatment from the proper doctors who receive the proper training and know how to create a safe space for trans individuals. We looked into places also over the seas like Argentina and how they're dealing with trans healthcare. One thing that we realized is that transgender healthcare is not covered throughout not even just the states but different countries, and even in places where they maybe are accepted, that doesn't quite mean that the people themselves feel comfortable identifying themselves or safety wise feel like it's something that they could do. A lot of people, even though healthcare has been passed even in places like New York, it seems that there's still the stigma and the bias where doctors are able to turn away transgender people, even if it is for their own health and benefit. So, one thing that we wanted to talk about specifically was the fact that denying trans people the right to prosper and live in a healthy life or habitat is going with something that was said by Kant. So one thing that my group looked at was the mere means idea by Kant. And so one thing that we realized was that when someone is denying or asking for trans people to prove themselves, whether it be through mental therapy and it being over 6 months to a year and making someone feel confident and feeling like they have to prove themselves just for another person to decide whether or not they can go on this journey in life, it's kind of treating them as a means because it's saying that we understand that you have this issue and there is this medication that we know can be subscribed to you, can help you, and make you feel 100% better. But we choose not to because to us, you don't prove to be who you think you are. And that causes a lot of problems because then the trans individual may sit there and feel like there is only 2 chances of death or this. And the doctor or a person who's not empathizing with them may feel like this is a very easy decision for them to make and that they are correct. Another thing that we really looked into also was Kierkegaard's idea of the crowd. So one thing that I could say personally is that the crowd for gender is very much male, female. Male are privileged, females are oppressed or receive less rights, if you will, in this country. So when it came to looking at that, we felt like being someone who's trans, they don't always have to be in just a binary system of male and female, but also that we receive so much stigma or so much bias and derogatory things from people because of their inability to understand that we are choosing a path that is right for us and not for everyone and not to influence everyone. I think especially with a lot of the things that are going on, especially with Caitlyn Jenner, that there's a lot of idea that everyone's opinion matters when the only opinion that truly matters is the person who's undergoing all of this. And so my group really empathized and felt like those points were really, really strong in our argument about our moral issue. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much, Professor Ferguson.